So, underrated horror games as well as my top five horror games of all time. So, top five, real quick. I love Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, but I'd probably go with the Resident Evil remake of the original Resident Evil. It adds more rather than taking away like the recent Resident Evil remakes. I think next would be Dead Space. Absolutely love Dead Space. I just got to play the remake of Dead Space. Love that too. I have problems, of course, but I love it nonetheless. It was still really great and fun, and it looks great too. Then I would say Silent Hill 2. I love Silent Hill 3, and I love even Silent Hill 1. I think because of how old it is and its dated graphics, it actually helps to make that game a lot scarier than I thought originally. Um, but I love Silent Hill 2. That's a game that can stand on its own, kind of like the Dark Knight within the Dark Knight trilogy. You know how the first Batman Begins is the Ra's al Ghul League of Shadows stuff, and then they repeat that in the Dark Knight Rises. They kind of do that same thing with Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3, where they repeat the cult story. They bring it back. Like Silent Hill 2 is that middle ground, that Dark Knight, where it's like this unique film. Same with like even using Sam Raimi films, for example, like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and frickin' Evil Dead 2, where they got the formula for what they wanted to do with the movies just down perfectly, where it's like they embrace both the comedic nature and the overall vibe and feeling of and personality of those movies, and they made it perfect in the second film with Evil Dead 2, where Army of Darkness was leaning more towards the comedic side, and Evil Dead 1 was unintentionally funny while trying to lean more towards the horror side. Like Spider-Man 1, the effects didn't age well and they were still trying to get their footing. Then Spider-Man 3 was just a complete mess. I still like Spider-Man 3, but it's the same feeling I have with Silent Hill 2. It's such a unique perfection of a game. It's a magnum opus within the series where it's got a story that you don't even need the name Silent Hill to call it Silent Hill, and it would be a perfect story anywhere else. And I think the weird way characters act actually contribute to the creepy, unsettling feeling to them and such. But anyways, I was glad to play it for the channel, but once again, I made a Konami joke. It did copyright claim me, same with Metal Gear Solid 3, sadly. I am looking forward to the remakes. I hope they're good and they aren't glitchy, that they actually have passion behind them and love to how they created them. But otherwise, yeah, I think next, so Dead Space, Resident Evil Remake 1. I think I would want to say Fear. I really love Fear, and I wish it would come back, but I don't think that's my favorite. I also love Area 51. That game's freaking insane. The stuff you can do build in that game's freaking insane. And I think if I had a genuine late game, I do think Condemned Criminal Origins is really good, and I love Alien Isolation. Evil Within 2 comes really close. I do really love Evil Within 2. It fixed a lot of the problems I had with the first game, such as the character development, the dialogue. They did have a good DLC in Evil Within 1, but I don't feel like that was enough to make the game good as a whole, because you're still paying $60 for the rest of it, or whatever the price was at the time. I mean, it's been on sale here and there, but you know what I mean. At least it's not the Order 1886. Uh, that game freaking sucks. Just to briefly say, I freaking hate that game. Yeah, I think those would be Alien Isolation is definitely up there, and I think Condemned Criminal Origins. Those are my favorite horror games of all time. Those five. Um, I've already talked about I hate Slender Man. Slender Man freaking sucks. I want to really like the FNAF series, but it keeps kind of giving me that gentle push away that I've talked about in my previous video on 3 horror games that genuinely scare me. Oh, and my controller just disconnected on me. I love Lovecraftian stuff. Here's some underrated horror games. I love Penumbra. Penumbra is actually really good. People already know about Amnesia and Outlast and all that, but Penumbra is a game that I actually really like, the Penumbra games. There's a couple of them. One of my favorite YouTubers is Halloween4545, and he's played all these games. There's also Singularity. Love Singularity. I don't know, not enough people talk about that game. What was that? There's another game where you're on a ship, and I think it's like a Russian vessel, and you're trapped there. There's ice enemies and stuff, and you have like a heat system in it. I think that game's really unique. If you can name that game's really cool. Damn, I can't believe I forgot the name of it though. Sounded like Shadow the Hedgehog saying damn. Uh, but yeah, those games are underrated. I think the Fear series is so good. I even like the third Fear game, even with its problems. I do like the third Fear game. Second one was weird. I don't know how to describe that one. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But Fear 1 is freaking amazing. I love that game. That game is insane. Freaking love it. I don't know what else to say. Like, I've seen people do some crazy things in that game too, with the slow-mo and other mechanics that it has to offer, and awesome ass weapons too that it has, as well as its like DLC and such that it had at the time, like its expansion kind of stuff they added to it. Yeah, I recommend watching Halloween 4545 for that stuff. Also, freaking games like the Fallout games, when you have a creepy ass dungeon in one of those games, it's freaking scary. It can genuinely get creepy and atmospheric. I love the original Call of Cthulhu game, the one that was on PC and Xbox. That game's freaking awesome. Not enough people talk about it. It's got its problems, but it was the closest thing to what I like about Call of Cthulhu, other than Bloodborne here that you're seeing. But yeah, I think that's all. Some Elder Scrolls games like Morrowind, I got to play Morrowind finally, and that's got some creepy atmosphere to its dungeons and stuff, and the outdated graphics actually, just like Silent Hill, help to enhance the creepiness of it and what you're seeing in there. But yeah, and there goes my controller again. It's because I have it set to this stupid HDMI, not HDMI, freaking USB cord, and the USB cord's getting a lot weaker in the plug space, so I have to keep reconnecting it. As well as I was having some problems having my controller just work wirelessly for whatever reason. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. I can't. There's actually 2 games I want to play for the channel, besides doing my read-alongs as well as the versus videos. Have forgotten about those. Well, the 2 games I want to do for the channel is Star Wars Republic Commando and Doom 3. I might start with Doom 3 because I don't have Republic Commando downloaded right now, but it won't take long. So look forward to those, hopefully. I love those games. Should talk about Star Wars games in a video sometime. Bye!